First of all, risk and testing. So like there are different kind of risk that you could have in your project. Based on that, as we have seen chapter number 4, sometime you decide your testing based on the risks. Like you think about that methodology based on risk based technique, and then the leading technique is risk based. So what is the definition of risk? Risk involves the possibility of an event in the future which has negative consequences either on the product, let's say, like any event which has negative consequences on your product or what you are using. The level of risk is determined by the likelihood of the event and the impact harm of that event. Very very important line for ISTQB exam. Almost every year or every exam we get this kind of question, like the level of risk actually is determined by the likelihood, like how often is it possible that this event will occur, and how severe is the impact. Sometimes we say the likelihood of the event is is too much, like it can happen maybe once in a month, but the impact is not that bigger. And sometimes we say likelihood of the event is let's say not that much, but if it occurs then impact could be very critical. So I will give you an example. For example, you are planning to like you have a banking system and you are planning to book some flights, let's say from country X to country Y or city X to city Y. All of a sudden you thought to book 80 tickets. So what is the likelihood of booking 80 tickets at a time with your bank card, let's say, or whatsoever resource you are using, is like very minimum. And there is a bug in the system. Whenever you are booking more than 80 or 80 tickets, then your system will crash, will create some problem. So harm is very, like the risk is very high, severity is very high, because it will crash the system. But the likelihood of booking 80 tickets, is it likelihood is very lesser. So based on that we define the risk, how much possibility of occurring, the level of risk are defined, because anyhow you cannot cover every risk. But if you are working in some dedicated area where the risk even could lead to the life of somebody, then there are some very critical things you need to consider. So there are two kind of risk: product risk and project risk. Product risk, as the name is telling you, it's very clear. Any risk related to the product during development and line, whatever faults is coming, it is a product risk. And anything related to the project, like for example, either I will meet the requirement of the project, either I will meet the deadline, is the project risk. So product risk could be like, for example, you have some error prone areas, like where you could have more errors, then some potential, you can say some negative effect, some life threatening defect, harm to the customer. Like if it happens, it would harm the customer, again it's a product kind of risk. Then maybe if your product is like not, as we have seen many non-functional characteristic, if your system is not portable, not usable, not like responsive, not reliable, it is again a product risk. So anything that will in the end affect your product, will affect the customer, will affect the life of product, is a product risk. So let's study in detail. Product risk involves the possibility that a work product, e.g. specification, component, system or a test, any kind of product, maybe the complete end product or maybe on the different levels of testing, may fail to satisfy the legitimate needs for its users or stakeholders. When the product risks are associated with a specific quality characteristic of a product, like function suitability, reliability, efficiency, usability, security, compatibility, maintainability, portability, all of these are, like we know, these are the specific characteristic, non-functional quality characteristic. Product risks are also called quality risks. Like sometimes we have quality risks, sometimes we have functional risk, for example, like functionality is not being done. So these are different kind of product risks. Example of product risk include software might not perform its intended function according to the specification. One of the main, like the as the name comes into mind, the software is not working as expected. One of the product risk, software might not perform its intended function according to user, customer or stakeholder needs, as I explained you. A system architecture may not adequately support some non-functional requirements, like customer says this function is this product specifically I want, like it should be portable, like I can run it on any platform, I can take it with me to different place. So it's a non-functional requirement. If the system architecture you have developed is not meeting, so your product is at risk. Why? Because it is not portable as per the customer requirement. A particular computation may be performed incorrectly in some circumstances. So like there is as I told you, maybe like during booking of tickets, some like computation particular like logic or formula inside the code which may perform incorrectly in some circumstances. Again a product risk. A loop control structure may coded incorrectly, like it's a bug in the problem in the code in development, so finally it will lead to a product risk for sure. Everything which is like creating problem for the end product is a product risk. Response time may be inadequate for high performance transaction processing system. User experience feedback might not meet product expectation. So everything which is related to the, I will like, you can keep it very simple. Just think about is like if will it hit the end customer, will the my project will be for example my product will be affected in the end. These all are product risk. I think I have clarified everything. If you still have any doubt, you can put it in the comment section so that we can even discuss it in more details. So and then now we will come to the project risks. So now here we will discuss project risk in detail and how different project risks actually we have. Product risks we have discussed, and now the important topic is about project risks. Next topic is about the project risk. So everything like related to the project, like you have some delays, let's say in the project, you have some problems in the tools handling, you have maybe some other issues, like you're getting too many bugs before the release of a product. So everything like which can actually create problem for your progress in the project to meet the deadlines, anything is actually a project risk. There are different types of project risk, we will discuss in detail. Project risk involves situations that should they occur may have a negative effect on a project's ability to achieve its objectives. For example, project risk include, the number one is itself project issues. Project issues like it is a kind of project risk. Delays may occur in delivery, task completion or satisfaction of exit criteria or definition of done. Like you are continuously having some delays in your dead to meet the deadlines. So it is a project risk which is related to the project issues. Inaccurate estimates, reallocation of fund to higher priority projects, or journal cost cutting across the organization may result in adequate funding. Again, like if you are getting some issues related to your project, then it is a risk. Late changes may result in a substantial rework. So again, a kind of like project, just keep this simple term in your mind. Anything which can influence our pace, which can have influence on project internally, is a project risk. Then comes organizational issues. Skills, training and staff may not be sufficient. Personal issues may cause conflict and problems. Then users, business staff or subject matter expert may not be available due to conflicting business priorities. Maybe there are some festival vacations, there are some public holidays. So these all are related to the project issues type of organizational issues. Then comes the political issues. Tester may not communicate their needs and or the test result adequately. Like some kind of political issues inside the team and company, let's say some problem within a team members. Developer and or tester may fail to follow up on information found in testing and reviews, e.g. not improving development and testing practices because of any inside some grudges or inside problems of a company. There may be an improper attitude toward or expectation of testing, e.g. not appreciating the value of finding defects during testing. So like improper like attitude, expectations of testing, let's say. So different kind of things could be there. So these are all our project risk. Then come the technical issues. So what are the technical issues? Requirements may not be defined well enough. So again a project risk which is a technical issue, you haven't defined the requirements well, so it's a project risk because on the long run you will not be able to meet the customer deadlines. The requirement may not be met given existing constraints. The test environment may not be ready on time. Data conversion, migration planning and their tool support may be late. All things related to the project which are having technical issues, it's a project risk. Weakness in the development process may impact the consistency or quality of project work product, such as design, code, configuration, test data and test cases. So again a project risk. Poor defect management and similar problem may result in accumulated defects and other technical debt. So these all are related to the technical issues and project risk in the end. Supplier issue, again, a third party may fail to deliver a necessary product or service or go bankrupt. Like you are expecting a tool, a supporting tool, but that third party tool or company, or maybe you are buying some module from them, they are bankrupt, some problem. Contractual issues may cause problem to the project, so maybe there are some time you need for the contract, so then again contractual problem. Project risk may affect both development activity and test activities. In some cases, project managers are responsible for handling all project risk, but it is not unusual for test manager to have responsibility of test related project risk. So like sometime we have a main project manager, then under him working is a development manager, then testing manager. But sometime if the sometime it is about all about the testing risk in the project, then maybe test manager will come into action. So this, I hope you have understood the concept of like the project risk. We have discussed in detail about the project risk and about the product risk. So in the next video, now we will further discuss about the next topic, which is about the risk based testing. This we have already discussed as an intro in chapter number 4, in the last chapter, like which kind of methodologies normally you have for testing. So there was a risk based testing as well. So now in the next topic we will discuss what are the advantages if you are doing testing based on some risk, keeping in view some risk. So we will discuss in detail in the next video.